You want to do this?
Do this.
Podcast. Two guys talking without wearing pants. Pantless. Podcast. You can take our ideas.
Welcome back to the Pantless Podcast. Here's your host, Austin and Travis. Take it away, guys. What's going on?
We did it, yo! We did it! Did it! We're back. We're back.
You know, one of these days I'm going to actually verify that this all works before we start.
That's
And one of these days it's not going to. Welcome back. Hey, you been eating anything good this week? Eating good in the neighborhood?
Wow, copyrighted.
Hey, you know.
Consumerism 5 for this episode. Drinking
Right.
vanilla Dr. Pepper while
No, that's
hashtagging Applebee's.
That's
cream soda.
That's cream soda. It's the red Gatorade I'm gonna be drinking afterwards.
Right.
Haterade. So you been eating anything good?
Had some spaghetti meatballs today.
Nice.
You know, yeah, I just got back from a little trip, and I totally forgot about that. I was like, hey,
would you eat?
I was like, I didn't really eat much, but I had the best fried chicken I have ever had in my entire life.
Ooh, strong statement.
Yes, it was pretty great. It was at this place called Yardbird, and I had the
I've
chicken
heard
and
of
waffles.
That's not. Oh,
and
gross! I hate chicken and waffles.
Oh, no. The fried chicken was perfect. The waffles were perfect. I don't really eat them together. I'm not one of those people.
No.
I like them separate, but it's like you have the chicken's your dinner and then the waffles your dessert. It's perfect.
I hate
overate,
everything.
got sick.
I hate everything there is to be about chicken and waffles. It just, cause, the work used to serve chicken and waffles when they did breakfast.
Yes,
and
I remember that, and I loved it.
And the chicken was like, it's not a like the chicken they served.
It was like slimy. It was like, yeah, it had like
that
slimy skin.
No, it was. I don't remember that. It just wasn't breakfast. It wasn't a chicken that's like, hey, I'm gonna eat this for breakfast. You know, right. I like a waffle, but I don't like eating, like a fried chicken with it. That's not a breakfast to me. So,
right.
I denied chicken and waffles as the wife made really good chicken and dumplings for dinner the other night.
Okay.
Fantastic. I was at work and I was like, you know what? We had something else planned for dinner, and I was like, you know what sounds good tonight? And it was like rainy outside. It was raining early in the week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what? Chicken and dumplings sounds delicious. And she's like, I can make that. Bam. Homemade chicken and dumplings. I had something else good this week. What else did I have this week? I don't remember, because that kind of really made my week. So, hey, do you like my spoopy background here?
That's oh, look at it, it's moving. Okay, yeah.
My mushroom.
Did you have to pay extra for that?
No, I don't know. It was just there.
Okay.
I don't know. Discord did pop up and start asking me, do you want to pay money for all this stuff? I'm like, no, not right now. Maybe
yeah,
not
right.
later.
I saw that they lowered the price of Nitro.
There's like 2 plans for it now. And I'm like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me here, but let's not.
It's sucking my kids in. My kids are like, we want that. I'm like, you don't need you're not a content creator.
Yeah.
And you need to be a content creator that's like making money, and then you could probably use Nitro somehow to boost your metrics, but nobody needs Nitro.
It kept saying something about you have this many megabytes of upload stuff. I'm like, I don't upload anything with Discord. I don't know what you're talking about here. I don't need this. If you know, let us know down below. I mean, we won't look.
What's a good reason that somebody who's not making money would want Nitro?
I don't.
Like,
even if I was making
a video, there's a way you can upload videos in 100 other platforms that are extremely common.
Can you
that millions of people use?
Can you record using Discord? I didn't even know you could use Discord to record anything. You'd have to record and upload, or you recording off.
No. You're just like uploading videos. Like, oh, here's a video I took of a guy who is jumping.
Oh,
in my
onto
pool
the chats and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just why?
I don't upload videos and just. This is the only thing I use Discord for.
Right.
This is literally all I use Discord. So, what else do you want to talk about?
You want to jump into some music? Because you sent me like a fantastic video that I just can't stop thinking about.
Did send you,
and I want to add it immediately to our Spotify.
Hey, I saw somebody today showed me their Spotify playlists, and guess which one was at the top of their list?
Oh man, please
Ours.
Nice.
I wanted to say it was somebody else's. We were like 5 or 6 down the list. No, but yeah, got coworker like. Yeah, you're my number one podcast. He didn't say he actually listens to us.
Is it our podcast or our playlist or both?
I just saw our name at the top of his list. I think he said it was our music playlist.
Okay.
But the song I sent you was by, and I'm gonna butcher this name because I pulled it off memory because
it's Nita Strauss.
Nita Strauss, featuring
The Wolf You Feed.
Featuring Alyssa Glutz White, or
White, however
the lead singer of
Gluz. I don't know.
The lead singer of Arch Enemy.
Yes.
Really good song. It popped up randomly in my feed because I actually follow Arch Enemy's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And it popped up. I think they dropped it on YouTube like the day before I watched it. It was pretty brand new. Really good song. Then there's the one you sent me yesterday.
Yes.
Small Town Titans.
Small Town Titans.
That
vocalist has an incredible voice.
Dude, that guy's got some pipes on him. He okay, so you sent me the song. What was the name of that song?
Rufflin' Feathers.
Rufflin' Feathers. And I'm like, gosh, this sounds... So I was getting some Decipher Down feels.
Yeah, I can hear that, absolutely.
From that, and then I also listened to, what was the other song? I listened to one of their other songs. And then I listened...
One of their originals or one of their...
I think it was one of theirs.
Okay.
I don't remember what other song I listened to from them, but then I listened to I actually listened to their You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Yeah, that's their like most famous. That's what actually got them on the map, where people are like, hey, these guys are really good.
Yeah,
it goes for those viral things.
I actually watched, there's a reaction channel I watch, and she had reacted to their version of Grinch.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So I watched that version, like her breaking it down. And what was the other one I listened to? Let Me Breathe was the other one I listened to.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Some of their
pretty good.
Yeah, no, I had even stronger Decipher Down feels from that one. Kind of what I like most about him is the dude's completely bald-headed, and his facial features are just hilarious. I mean, because some of their older stuff, he's got a little bit of hair. Like, he's got more hair, and the guitarist has less hair. So now in their newer stuff, the one guy's grown his out, and the other guy's completely bald. I listened to their cover of Fat Bottom Girls, which was awesome.
It was good, yeah.
What other cover? Oh, Hunger Strike by
yeah, you told me about that. I gotta check that one out.
They did a Hunger Strike cover with Lizzie Hale that was really good. Now, I told you I had some problems with that video you sent me.
Yeah, what was that about? Because I didn't see anything like... Was it just his face?
It's my nitpick. It's a little bit of my nitpicky, and it's probably just me, and probably the whole guitar community doesn't agree with me. But he plays bass guitar. It looked like he was using a guitar pick
Oh my gosh.
playing a bass guitar.
You don't appreciate that?
No.
But
I'm an old. I used to play bass guitar, and I tried to use a guitar pick, which I never played I never played guitar.
right.
I only played bass, so I never what I did.
Were you did you use your thumb? Were you a finger? Were you a slapper?
Bit of all of the above.
Oh, okay. All
Whatever I was in the mood for.
right. All right. Love
If
it.
if it was playing down low, it was these, and then if you're up top, it's a it's a.
Yeah.
I'm a picker.
You're a picker. Grinner, a lover, a sinner.
But I'm a finger picker, not a picker.
Right.
I was self-taught by someone else.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
I played tuba in high school.
Yeah.
And my buddy who had played piano from the time he could crawl all the way, he'd been taking piano lessons since the beginning of time, and they needed a bass guitarist for the praise and worship band at the church. He's like, "Here, you know how to read music. Let's show you how to play guitar." And I learned how to play bass guitar in like 2 hours, and then got thrown up on a stage to play with the praise and worship band. And I played for 2-3 years.
How
Never
interesting.
actually officially was taught how to play. I just kind of. This was before the age of
If you
YouTube.
can read music, then that's pretty cool. I mean, then you don't really need to learn to play, right? You just play what you read.
Mostly
it's a foreign concept to me, so I'm just like, I don't know.
It's you just got to know where, this is an E string, and you go up, and you just got to know the progressions. If you know how to read, if you know how to read music, and you know what notes are, it's actually very simple.
Right.
No,
See,
it's
I was
not.
like
It's
a
actually
basic weeb, not weeb. That's not the appropriate term. That's an anime guy. But we had tabs, so when I was playing guitar, I would just look up tabs and then print off tabs of songs.
Sometimes I feel like knowing how to play guitar off tabs is easier than trying to know the sharps, flats, the notes.
Right.
Because it's like tabs is like just the guitar. Tabs doesn't translate to anything else.
Right.
If you already know how to read music, it's almost like, oh, now you have to know that this is an E string, and it goes up to the top, and it's like an F sharp, and it works its way down down the alphabet.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to know exactly which one. And when you have a piece of sheet music that says play an E, and you're like,
piece of sheet.
Where's the E? Where I think tabs just is numbers, isn't it? And that's frets.
It tells you what fret to pick, and then the number is above the string that you're going to play.
See, tabs just confuse.
String 5th fret, doom. You're like, all right, that was easy.
See, because the circles I was around shunned the tab people.
Right. Yeah.
Because
I would imagine the people that could read sheet music are like, oh, tab, you buffoon, you mouth breather.
There wasn't elitist kind of mentality there, because the guy
I can see it.
Our guitar player, he was, he'd been playing music since he was a child,
right?
And I knew music. My buddy, who's a pianist, he had been raised around pianos,
right?
And knew how to read sheet music before he knew how to read books,
right?
So there was tabs, lesser beings.
Yeah.
That I'm over here going, I know how to play. I was the dumb one of the group.
But you still read music. That's impressive.
I could. I don't think I could anymore. It's been a long time. Like, I could probably fake my way through it. Bass clef, not treble clef.
Huh. It's all about that bass.
Bass clef. That's what I know. What knew? If you threw a treble in front of me, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about here. This makes no sense whatsoever. Gotta get me down into the low registers before I start reading it. So, very good listen. I listened to another group. Let me pull this up.
Okay.
I was driving back from Chateau yesterday, last night, late, and there was a group I was listening to. I'm going to look them up and still pronounce their name wrong.
Okay. You're allowed to do that.
I want to look them up on the search machine.
Okay.
They're called Gojira.
Gojira. Are they a giant dinosaur?
Gojira is a French heavy metal band.
I think I've heard of them.
They were originally called Godzilla in '96, and they changed it to Gojira.
I've actually heard of Gojira. I actually have, now that you tell me that. Yep.
They popped up.
I can't remember how or who.
They're known for heavy metal, death metal, metal. What I was listening to on the way home wasn't really that. What I listened to a lot of metal, and they seemed like they were like a more of an aluminum. You know, they were softer metal.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a metal joke that only I tell. When I heard French heavy metal, I was like, God, these guys might be hard.
Right. But not so hard.
They don't speak. They speak English. All their songs are in English. I was hoping it was all in French.
Even their song "Les Enfants Sauvages."
I didn't listen. I haven't listened to their entire body of work, sir.
Okay.
But as soon as I see it emphasize French heavy metal, I'm like, this is interesting, because
right.
In my mind, the French language isn't that aggressive.
Right.
And to hear somebody like just
Monsieur Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, well, wow, we just lost our French audience.
I know. It's okay. I think I can make fun of the French.
You can, because they make fun of you. Massively. But, yeah, as I was driving and had them just playing on my phone, I wasn't really able to see what songs were playing.
Mm-hmm.
So, can't really tell you, and I didn't listen to very much of them. But I've been just kind of on the lookout for just off the wall. But I can't believe you already listened to them. You've heard of them.
I've heard of them, and this was I want to say they're an old band, because this was years ago that somebody was mentioning them.
They were Godzilla in '96. They've been active since '96.
Okay, so yeah, I heard, because I wanted to say it was like College Man is when somebody was talking about them.
Yeah,
it was.
And I think
that you've stumbled across them.
Yeah, they became Gojira in 2001. So, I want to say me and a guy at work were talking about Apocalyptica. We were kind of...
Was it the Demon Hunter album?
Apocalyptica. Those are the dudes that play the cellos. Have you never heard of Apocalyptica?
Maybe.
They're the three guys from they're from not America.
You can't say they're from not America.
They're from Helsinki.
Helsinki, okay.
But they're a Finnish symphonic metal band. Okay. They play cellos.
Nice.
They rock out with cellos. They kind of got, I don't know if, I think they got their big break when they made one of the first times I heard them was they did a full Metallica cover album. Where they played just Metallica's no vocals, because they don't sing. I think there's a few songs that they do some vocals for, but none of that's in English because I don't think any of them speak very much English.
Interesting.
Most of their lyrics they bring in guests,
Right.
because they've got Corey Taylor come in and sing a song for them.
Oh, really? I've got love me some Corey Taylor, man. Oh, I'm Not Jesus with Corey Taylor.
Correct. I Don't Care is the guy from Pooh.
Oh.
Worlds Collide is their album that has some of their good stuff on it.
Yeah.
I have to come here and it'll tell me. Adam Gontier, who is the lead singer of 3 Days Grace.
Okay.
And then they have the song Helden, which is a David Bowie cover.
Okay.
Which that song is called Heroes, but Till Lindemann does the vocals, and that's the lead singer of Rammstein. That song's all in German.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I'm Not Jesus was Corey Taylor. And then SOS Anything But Love was another one. And I don't... You've heard of Lucina Coyle?
Yeah.
The lead singer of them.
Okay.
She sings a song for them.
All right.
I think I pronounced that wrong. That's how it... Is that right?
I think that's right. Yeah.
It sounds wrong, but that's how, when I see the word,
Right.
that's how I want to say it.
I saw them in concert one year with POD at the Canes.
Ooh, that was a good show.
That was a good show.
You know, I hate going to the Canes. I've watched one show there and just absolutely despised it. Because did you know it's an old ballroom?
That was the first time in my life I'd ever seen, because you have the front woman, and then the bass and the guitars, they all had long hair, and it was the first time that I ever saw a band do the whole, like, everybody during like a drop, like a boom, and then they're all swinging their hair in unison,
like that,
all three of them.
Like that Nina Strauss video we watched?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly like that. But it was all three of them. It was the first time I'd ever seen a band do that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is mind-blowing. And apparently everybody does that all the time, but it was just my first experience.
Is your first thought when you see someone do that, go, how are you coordinated enough to do that and continue playing on beat and just not miss a note? Like, I do that.
She could shred, man. Holy cow, she was fantastic.
You should listen you should listen to her song SOS with Apocalyptica after the show.
Nita Strauss?
No, the chick from Lucina Coyle.
Oh, okay.
I saw one show. I've seen one show at the Canes, and that was I think that was the Edge homegrown deal.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Where they own it was like 5 or 6 Tulsa bands.
Yeah.
And
Do you
I think
remember any of them, who there was?
What was the Tulsa band had? I want to. Black Crows, were they from Tulsa?
Congress of the Crow.
Congress of the Crow.
With the woman, with the lady, the female lead singer.
Yes. I've been trying for years.
I love them.
I've been trying for years to remember the name of that band, and I knew it was Crows something. We watched. It was their last performance with her.
Really?
She was leaving the band, and that
was it. Well, I wonder if you saw, because her name was Danielle. When I used to follow them, I just don't know if
I'd only heard like 1 or 2 songs of them ever before then, and they came on stage, and they played a couple songs, and then she announced right there, like it was like a hot off the press, this is my last show with the group, I'm moving on. I don't think they're like, we don't have anybody right now to replace me, but I am moving on. They did like another they did a lot more songs. Like they were like the headliner. I think they were like the kind of like the main group because I'd never heard of anyone else. There's like a reggae group there, and
Okay.
it was a really cool show. Watched some people get kicked out of the Canes for underage drinking. That was funny. Like, okay, story time about this one. We're standing.
Yeah.
There's probably about 5 people deep from us to the stage, and there was these two girls, kind of right up against the stage, and these 2 big guys. They look big to me. I'm a small dude. Coming through the deal with all these beers, and they hand the girls the beers, and they're sitting there partying, and these 2 other dudes that are probably like the bouncers. They're probably like 7 foot tall. Come wading through, don't say anything. 2 guys grab 4 individuals, the 2 guys and 2 girls. Grab them, lift them up, and just haul them off. And everybody just turned around and watched as they just chunked them out the front door.
Wow.
And it's like, yeah, I just start rocking back.
That is awesome. Yeah, I used to follow a band called After 8, and I was basically a groupie, even though I was
nice
18 years old.
Nice.
It didn't matter what day. If they were playing, I was there. And so I got to see lots of locals because they would open up for local bands. You know, a lot of times they were the headliner. And it was just a good time. So I got to learn it was probably in between 2005 and 2007. Like, I got to really see a lot of local musicians. It was a good time, fun time. And I remember I saw one of my favorite moments. I saw After 8 and Congress of the Crow at the same show. Yeah. And I put on I went and bought Congress of the Crow shirt for like $15. Mm-hmm. And I was like yelling. I was like, "Woo, I love you guys." And then Danielle from Congress of the Crow was like, "I love you. You're beautiful. You're my new model." And then she gave me like a little booty bump. And I was like, yeah. My 18-year-old heart was stolen.
Are they even on anything?
Probably not. Probably not. There was another cool band. They were really...
No, they're not even on Amazon Music. They haven't been pulled up.
There was a band called Willow. Something Willow. Like, I don't know if it was the Sleeping Willows or what, but they had their guy, every time he would come on stage, I saw them a few times, he would have I think it was like what is that? Shirley Temple. He'd be like carrying a Shirley Temple on stage. And then they did a cover of that 8675309 song. 8675309. Yeah, he was like, "And here comes our Tommy Two-Tone cover," and then they would rock out, and it was a good time, and he would just be sitting up there. He's just so cool.
So you can find. So Congress of a Crow is on Spotify.
Really? I wonder if they had that song that was like, "Time to wake up, put on your makeup, put the drinks up."
Was that their that sounds so familiar?
That was like their big song.
I'll have to.
I gotta see if I can find that. I don't remember.
Like, do they not have a? Okay. They don't have much.
Oh, I bet this is it. Time to wake up.
Feels so good. Bitter end. Time to wake up. Everything is a lie.
Yep, that's it. Congress of the Crow right there. Time to wake up. I'm adding that to our playlist.
Heck yeah.
I gotta find this album. That's gonna bring back some memories.
I'm glad that you knew who it was, because I remember watching them, but my memory isn't the greatest, and you probably listened to The Edge a good heavy bit in the late 90s, early 2000s. And they used to do what was the show they did on Saturday night? Was it?
It was like a battle of the bands.
There was like a homegrown Saturday night or something like that's what they called it, or homegrown Friday. It was one night a week. They did like from like 8 to like midnight. They did nothing but Tulsa bands on the radio.
Yep.
And generally that's when I turn the radio off because I'm like, man, Tulsa band.
I don't know.
But no, I would listen to it from time to time.
Yeah.
And not all of it was great. But I remember Battle of the Bands. I never got to go to one because that was a concert, right?
Well, they did have concerts at local venues, but the Edge had their own little local Battle of the Bands that was. It wasn't part of their necessarily their homegrown lineup. I can't remember how it worked, but it was every week. Like if this band won, you would get to hear that song next week, and then they would play.
That's
new
right.
ones.
They'd play 2 songs.
Yep, and it was basically
and then
like
you call
order...
in and like you would like almost like call in and vote,
mm-hmm.
which I never did because I didn't know.
Yeah, but yeah, and then the winner moved on, and they could kind of like they could hang out on the radio
like
for several weeks if they were good enough.
There was like one band, I can't remember who it was, but there was like one band that like set a record of like a 7 weeks solid. One time.
But yeah, but that was tough because that was more like you know, I say tough. It was cool. It was fun. It was like fan driven, you know. So if you can get your your local fan group to all right guys, this week, everybody call in and vote for our song. Then boom, they're the winner.
Yep.
And that's just kind of how it worked. And it didn't take much. It was probably like 30 or 40 people call in, and boom, you're the winner.
Is radio dead? Does anybody listen to actual radio stations anymore?
I hear some of our people, our drivers, listen to radio stations occasionally.
When I'm on a shuttle, there's one shuttle driver that listens to The Edge every morning. I'm like, wow, is this not? I just assumed radio died with the streaming.
Yeah, I don't. Somehow it's still there.
I don't listen to radio anymore. Just don't do it. All right. Breaking news. We talked like 30 minutes of nothing but music.
Yes, that was fantastic.
We're a music podcast now.
Breaking news.
Disney
stepping out. They are debuting the first plus-size heroine in a short film. In this film called Reflect from their Short Circuit series on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a big deal. It's this woman named Bianca, and she's just she's the front person, the main person, the go-to, and it's the first time you ever had a plus size. And I'm not 100% sure if that's super accurate, but maybe it's the fact that she's a woman that's the first plus size woman hero.
Nobody cares about plus size dudes.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm pretty sure we've seen some plus size male heroes, but
I mean, there was Hercules.
Stop it.
But
yeah, so breaking news: Disney Plus released first plus size heroine. There you go.
And in similar news, Jerry Lee Lewis died today.
Yesterday, right?
Well, I'm seeing his death as today.
Oh wow. Okay.
It says he died October 28th, and from last I checked, my data, that's today.
So I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. You're probably thinking he was still alive.
My
thoughts exactly.
We share that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, if you would have told me, when did you think Jerry Lee Lewis? Probably the 90s. But no, he lived through the 2020s. He made it through the pandemic.
87.
Wow, that's crazy.
Has the pandemic truly ended?
Don't get us canceled. That will get us canceled. We gotta be very careful what you say about that.
Has it ended, or did it ever start?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't know this guy was still alive.
Yeah.
That was like when they said the Queen died. I was like, is she's still alive? Thought she died years ago.
Right.
He outlived the Queen.
Well, kind of. She was older.
Got him. So.
All right. Yeah. There you go. Keeps this party rolling.
Hey, did you stab a movie this week?
I haven't watched
Retro movie review.
Did you scream about it? Did you scream about it?
I screamed about it. Yeah. Yeah. We know that one of Drew Barrymore's most famous movies, Scream.
I forgot she was in this movie. Like, was this movie truly that star-packed?
I can't remember if all those people were that famous when it came out.
They weren't.
Or if they just eventually became famous. But yeah, lots of big name people.
Now, was Dave Arquette and Courtney Cox together in this?
That is where they kind of met.
Was this where? Okay, I thought that was. I thought that's. Because they were kind of like they become a couple in this movie,
right?
Because aren't they still together in the second movie? The characters.
I think they're together through the whole series, except for the last movie where they're kind of split up, but then they kind of get back together.
That's Scream 3.
I'm talking about the last one.
Scream
6 or whatever.
I only know
2 years ago.
I really only know of the first. Yeah, after 3, I don't know anything about it. Yeah, because like Rose McGowan was in this.
Yeah.
Which don't know what else she was off of, but I recognized her. Like, what she looks familiar.
She looks familiar. Matthew Lillard. From the Scooby-Doo movies.
Mm-hmm.
What? He's in a couple other things, I guess.
What? Billy's the actor that plays Billy's Skeet Ulrich. What else was he just?
I don't know.
Not in anything else.
I don't know. He has a face that he could have been in something else, but
he's got that. He's got that good punchable face.
He does. Like, that was one thing that the Scream movies did a really good job of. If you were paying attention, like you never knew who the second killer was, but if you paid attention, like all of the killers had the crazy psycho eyes, and Billy, he had those crazy psycho eyes.
He did from the very beginning.
From the very beginning, and if you look in the Scream movies, looking for the crazy psycho eyes, you're like, oh. But I remember watching this the first time and having no clue who the killer was, and then it being both of them was like, whoa, gosh, what a plot twist! Like it was crazy.
Because about the time when they just got done with their dalliance in the bedroom, she's asking him questions. She's still skeptical about, was it you? She's still in her back of her head. She thinks it's still him. But the movie's trying to make you think it was her dad.
Right. Or it was that horror movie fanatic kid. You know.
True.
Like, because you were like, oh, is the dad really in on it? They were trying to make the cop say it was him.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, I was looking to see where that Ulrich kid, if I've seen him before in anything else. The Billy. And
nothing I've watched.
He was actually an uncredited thug in the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
He was in The Craft in '96, which would have came out the same year as this.
Right. Which I don't think I've ever seen The Craft.
You've never seen The Craft?
I don't think so.
Wow, my wife made me watch that movie years ago.
My wife has talked about making me watch it, but she's never actually.
It's another.
It's through with making me watch it.
It's another Neve Campbell movie.
Okay. So Neve Campbell and this guy were in two 1996 dark movies.
Yeah, they were. He was also in As Good as It Gets in '97.
I don't know what that is.
God, what's that guy's name? Jack Nicholson. Helen Hunt. Cuba Gooding Jr.
That was probably too serious of a movie for me to want to watch.
Probably. It's a romance It's a rom-com.
Oh yeah, no.
It's a '97 rom-com.
Heck no.
Back when neither one of us were watching rom-coms.
Right.
He was in Chill Factor in '99. A movie just called Boys from '96. He did a lot of stuff in that. I think a lot of his stuff was around the '96.
Okay.
Looks like he was in a Gary Sinise movie called Albino Alligator in '96.
Albino Alligator.
It sounds like I'm making this up. But how would have I pulled Gary Sinise out of my backside for that? All right.
That's fair.
It's Gary Sinise. How can you not? You know? But sometimes at some I could see somebody thinking partway through this movie that Cotton had got out of jail, and because they were setting his character. I feel like they were just setting his character up for the second movie.
Right.
Old Liv Schreiber. I said what I said. So, I mean, let's get into some Metacritic.
Let's do it.
25 critics out of 100.
Ooh, this is gonna be a tough one. Critics don't usually like horror movies.
This is one of the better produced horror movies, though.
It's a Wes Craven movie.
Yeah, Wes Craven.
I think 52.
You were close, but not 65.
Oh wow, I'm impressed. Good job, critics.
849 users. So this will be a hard one to pin down out of 10.
This is such a good one. This, I don't think they quite gave it I think it's going to be 8.9. Not quite in the nines, but right there.
You were closer with this one, 8.6.
Okay.
Like, this is like, I remember I wasn't into slasher, because this really isn't a horror movie. I couldn't put it's a slasher.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a huge fan of slasher movies. But I remember watching this one in high school. Like when I got up older and was able, I think I bought it on VHS.
Right.
And I had it on VHS.
Hold on. If all you people that were born in the 2000s, you can pause the podcast right now. Go Google what a VHS is.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm dating.
Come back.
Yeah.
And then you're good. You're good. We give you permission to pause right now.
I had a VCR.
Again, pause. Go research what a VCR is. Come back.
Because when we were kids, we had to play our movies on something that you popped it in and it was called something different. It had two different names. A VHS went into a VCR.
Right. And I don't know what either of those stand for.
I thought a VCR was a video home recorder.
VCR, video home recorder.
Okay. I was close.
Maybe VHS is video home showy.
Showy, yeah, showy.
The VCR is a
video camcorder.
Recorder.
Camera
a video
recorder.
Camcorder. I don't know.
Car. I don't know letters.
Who knows? Don't even care.
Okay.
Don't even care. It's got to be video something though. Video.
Killed the radio star.
And it could be something recorder because if you remember, you could put a VHS in a VCR and record television shows.
Yep.
And
oh yeah.
So it probably is video something recorder.
Yeah.
Maybe video channel recorder because that was what it was designed for. And people were like, "Oh, you can actually play movies also." Okay, cool.
I feel like somebody turned the light off in my house, and now I'm just blown up in light here with my white shirt. I'm in a lot of light here. So Metacritic here again. 16 positive, 7 mixed, 2 negative with the critics, and the users gave it 773 positive, 32 mixed, 44 negative. We've never had one. We've never had these guys. TNT Rough Cut.
Okay.
Gave it 100.
Wow. They loved it.
Wes Craven continues to explore and blur the lines between reality and real-ity. There's 2 E's. It's like reality, but with 2 E's. And reality with an EA.
Okay.
With his latest and perhaps best cinematic slice of horror. Again, not a horror movie.
Right.
More suspense slasher.
Yeah, that's fair. Because there really weren't even that many, jump scares either.
No, but I could see it being a suspense, because there was kind of, some suspenseful scenes. It was had you on the edge of your seat on like what's gonna happen next.
Right.
Los Angeles Times gave it a 90. It's sensational in both senses of the word. Okay.
Sensational in both senses of the word. Okay.
Only two
Whatever you
senses.
say.
Brovera, provocative send up of horror pictures that's also scary and gruesome, yet too swift moving to lapse into morbidity.
Wow.
Again, not horror, not scary.
This person is word vomity.
Very.
But at the same time, I mean, you have to. A lot of those movies, suspense movies, slasher movies, it's almost like horror is like an umbrella, and then you've got all these different like things underneath. So suspense, some people are like, oh, a suspense movie is a horror movie. A slasher is a horror movie. A thriller, some people are like thrillers are horror movies. So it doesn't. I don't know. Whatever definitions. Burgerlicious definition. Make the boys go crazy.
Make all boy most go fire.
Stop it.
TV Guide name that movie. TV Guide magazine gave it a 70. Compared with most of what passes for scary movies these days, this is golden. It's not stupid. It's not wussy, and it pulls off a couple of pretty nasty jolts.
Okay.
I like how the movie wasn't campy. Like I felt like it really didn't like stick at the same. Like there were some horror slashers are real campy.
Right.
Whether they're at a campsite or they're just all in one location.
Oh, Henry Winkler was in this movie.
I forgot.
He was the most campy. Yeah, I didn't even think about it, but he was the most campy out of all of it. His character was just like,
I forgot. Yeah. Even though I just watched this movie, I forgot to mention him.
Yeah, I totally forgot until you said campy, and I'm like, it really wasn't. Oh, but the principal. Oh, that was Henry Winkler.
This was this was a time frame where he was like, he was getting older, and he was playing those just wacky, goofy, almost inappropriate, almost just awkward roles.
Right.
Because this would have been around the same time he was in Waterboy. He was the coach in Waterboy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, you don't realize that this guy used to be the coolest kid on the block. He was the coolest actor,
right,
of his time. Yeah, he was this really, like, everybody wanted to be him, and then when he grew up, everybody's like, we don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. He's the one that coined the phrase "jump the shark."
Yeah.
Did you know that? Yeah.
I don't know what it means, but I know he said it.
Well, no. Well, he was the Fonz in Happy Days, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was an episode where they were just trying to stay popular, stay famous. Or like, what are we going to do to keep people interested? And they had an episode where the Fonz was on water skis, and he jumped over sharks just to get people to go, oh my gosh, look at this real life thing where the Fonz is jumping over sharks. And then like Happy Days just died. And so people are like, so now like, why did Happy Days die? People are like, oh, well, it's because they jumped the shark. And so now anytime a show tries to do something extra and then it just
stay alive.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, they just jumped the shark. And it goes back to the Fonz and Happy Days literally jumping over sharks. Fun fact. Little, what do some people call them? Knowledge nuggets? I don't know.
Well, we could coin it.
Well, no, let's not coin that. We got to come up with something else. Leave us a voicemail. Tell us something to call it, because I don't want to call it knowledge nuggets because somebody does that. And don't call it a factoid because somebody does that too.
Gross. Baltimore Sun gave it a 25.
Ew.
Indeed, Scream is better than the average slasher film. Got the genre right, as its advertisers insist. And indeed, it is probably Wes Craven's best film.
Honestly, still only gave it a 25.
Yeah.
Oh.
As they also insist. But that is a little like saying the pimple on the left side of your nose is better than the pimple on the right side.
Oh my god.
I'm glad that you told me why you gave it a 25 without telling me you gave it a 25.
Man. That is fantastic. Okay. That's rough.
TTW107 user gave it an 8.
Okay.
One of the freshest horror movies ever made. A scary slasher flick. Not really. A satire of the genre. And a high school comedy all wrapped up into one with great young performances from some similar faces.
Oh, this is a user rating, so 8 is an 80. Okay. I'm thinking like 8. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, so this is another user score. Laura Lord Leela gave it a 0.
Ooh.
This review contains spoilers. Absolutely typical, illogical, and predictable horror movie. Again, not a horror movie. I completely don't understand how this film became a classic in genre. 0 out of 10. If on Metacritic it was rating less, was a rating less 0 out of 10, I'd like to score it as nothing at all because 0 is something for this blank anyway. I don't know how that had spoilers.
Oh my gosh. Well, spoiler alert, it's a movie.
It contains people.
Yeah, exactly, right. There are cinematic elements. Spoiler.
So on Metacritic, you can actually upvote or downvote.
Yeah.
Like user reviews. 1 thumbs up, 66 thumbs down to this person's review.
It was the thumbs up was like the boyfriend that she was holding a knife to his throat. You better give me a thumbs up. You better say you like this.
Yeah. Common Sense Media. I was so excited that we got this one this week.
Oh man. All right.
Old Chucky boy.
Chucky C?
Chucky C.
All
Jr.
right. All right. Go.
I am ready to, because I have not looked at hardly anything of what he has to say.
Man.
He tells us this movie was made in 96.
Oh, all right. He's off to a good start.
No, that's just
spitting facts, man.
He gave it 16 plus 4 stars.
Okay, all right.
Teen slasher parody has strong violence and language. What's it a parody of?
I don't. Maybe the genre itself, because it was based on you got to know the rules and.
I guess because didn't not another teen movie was a parody of Scream.
Scary Movie was a parody of Scream.
Scary Movie, that's it. What was not another teen movie? That was.
Wasn't
that a parody movie?
It was a parody, but of like what was that football movie? The Varsity Blues and
okay,
I think American Pop. No, that was its own thing. But like Varsity Blues and those types of movies.
Scary Movie was the one that was the parody. They made like 2 or 3 of those.
2 or 3 good ones. They made 2 good ones. 3 was okay, and then they made a bunch, but they just were progressively worse as they get. Yeah, but the first 2 were hilarious.
Funny. I can tell you,
Scary Movie 2 was probably the funniest of all of them.
Funny story, but after we get done, I won't tell that on here. It's just I don't feel like telling that story. We're running long tonight anyway.
All right.
Parents say 14 plus 4 stars out of 64 reviews. Well reviewed.
Oh wow. Yeah.
298 kids gave it 13 plus 4 stars.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't think any of my kids would want to watch this movie. I just don't know.
My kids said they wanted to watch it, and then just got bored after a little bit and left. So
yeah. So positive messages.
Not present.
Well, aren't you wrong? You gave it a 1.
Okay.
Movies don't make killers. They just make them more creative. Things aren't always as they seem, so be careful about who you trust.
That's not a positive message at all. What? Okay. All right.
Positive role models.
Not present. Well, Dewey's a positive role model. I'll give it a 1 for Dewey.
He gave it a 1.
Okay.
But he didn't mention Dewey. Most of the teen characters act hedonistically and display little regard for others' lives and feelings. But Sydney is more empathetic and respectful and also shows great intelligence and bravery, although she does engage in underage drinking and sex, as well as violent acts, albeit often in self-defense.
Okay. So they give.
You just had me. You had me going, and then you just lost it. Like.
Okay.
Oh, he's one of those reviewers. Sorry, that sounded bad. Diverse representations.
Oh, okay. Interesting. This would be not present. I don't remember seeing any kind of mix of anything.
He gave it a 1.
Why? Because there were women in it?
Playing on cliches of the genre, cast members are conventionally attractive, white, and live in suburban neighborhoods. Sexism is portrayed. The killer can't be a woman because she wouldn't know how to do that. That whole scene where they're all sitting there at the school. And actively called out by characters. A character is referred to as being overweight and told to move their fat tub of lard A. Which models fat-phobic treatment of others. I've never heard of fat-phobic. I'm using that. However, main character is female and portrayed as strong, intelligent, capable, yet also kind and empathetic.
Okay. So, all right. Chucky C. He's not doing it for me so far.
Violence and scariness.
Man, this really wasn't even as violent as it could have been. I would give it I want to say 3, but he probably gave it a 4.
He gave it a 5. Teens are terrorized over the phone and verbally and physically threatened. Characters are knocked unconscious and murdered, with dead bodies and bloody injuries shown. Savage multiple stabbings, throats slit. The special effects were good in this movie. Close range shootings. A lot of hand-to-hand fights with the killer, including strangling and hitting with objects. One character has their neck broken by a rising garage door. One is electrocuted by a toppled TV set. Another falls from a roof but is unharmed. A mother's death is mentioned, as are references to rape, torture, murder, suicide, and capital punishment. Characters are found disemboweled, tied to a chair, hung from a tree. Talk of eyes gouged out. When was that? Missed that part. Fingers cut off, teeth knocked out. Characters hooked up to medical drips and ambulance. Why are we mentioning that? Non-fatal car accident, kitchen fire, jump scares.
I don't know. I do remember 1 or 2 like throat slicing, but there was nothing like overly grotesque about any of it. Even the scene where at the beginning with the boyfriend, where his guts were out, like you had to really look to be like, oh, I guess I can see a gut out. It's kind of dark.
Yeah.
There was nothing that was just like, dude. It was just
I
don't know. It could have been a lot worse for being a rated R slasher movie. It could have been way more gory.
Sex, romance, nudity.
There was lots of talk. I'd give it a 2.
There's a lot of over the clothes on stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of crack. When he reminded me of being a young guy again. Was it
you and a young guy? What?
Back when I was a young guy.
back when you were a young guy. Okay, I thought you said being a young guy. And
I mean,
that's a story. If you want to get into it on this show,
no. When he's like over the clothes stuff at the beginning,
yeah,
she's like, yeah. It's like, back in the teenage dating days.
when you're being a good Christian boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave it a 3.
Okay.
Teen characters speak frankly about sex, nudity, virginity, promiscuity, and affairs. Kissing, touching over clothes. A character removes her bra, though breasts are not shown. Sex is implied but not acted out on screen, with characters dressing after the event. Phone sex joke. So, I mean, actually a fairly clean movie for a 90s.
Yeah.
I guess because it was dealing with teens. I guess the whole movie was about teenagers.
I don't think the 90s cared about that, though.
It seemed like they did in this movie.
Who knows? Maybe Wes Craven just did.
He was more worried about other things, okay? Language.
I do remember a couple words, but I don't. I'd probably give it a 2. I don't remember a bunch of language, but there might have been a bunch.
There was a bunch, and I don't remember a bunch of these.
Okay.
I'm not going to read them out because a bunch of them I just can't say.
Okay.
But there's a bunch.
There's
all
a
of
bunch.
them.
Wow. Okay.
All of them.
All of them. Okay.
All of them. Yeah, they're all in here. He gave it a 4.
Maybe a 1 or couple F words, maybe. I don't know, but maybe it was overshadowed.
It just says frequent profanity, and it uses all of them. He gave it a 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. Missed it. My bad.
It's about all of them. Don't use those words.
Yeah.
Products and purchases.
Man, I don't think of any. I'm going to say not present.
Well, that's where you would be wrong, sir.
Of course I am. Of course
you'd
I
be
am.
wrong. He gave it a 2.
Oh, okay.
And I agree with this. References to other horror movies. They mentioned Friday the 13th, Freddy.
Yeah, that's true.
Or that is for Halloween.
Yeah.
So, and then there was they talked about all of the horror, because that's kind of what the movie was kind of about. Was kind of.
Yeah, it was riffing on the genre, the horror slasher genre. Lots of Jamie Lee Curtis.
Lee Curtis. I lost the name from it.
Yep.
Jiffy Pop popcorn prominently shown in crucial scene.
Okay.
Corn Chex box. Dunkin' Donuts packaging also shown.
Oh, interesting. I don't recall that.
I don't remember those in it at all. I thought there would have been more. I figured there would have been more in the video store. Remember those?
Yep. Yeah. And I forgot about Jiffy Pop. I don't remember that being specifically the thing, but I remember being a kid and be like, "This is the coolest thing ever to make popcorn." Yeah,
the all-in-one thing that expands. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to take those like on camping trips and like try to not burn them in the fire, but hold them high enough over the fire and pop some popcorn out of camping.
I was too busy going, I forgot she was in this movie when she was messing with that. Drinking, drugs, and smoking.
I would give it a 1. There's that party scene where those guys are holding beers. They're like, it's like when he's giving them the rules, and he's like, and you can't drink or do drugs, and they're like, yeah, like 5 of the guys like holding up beers. That's the only one I can remember.
Well, he gave it a 3. There was the scene where the second main girl went right before she died. She had all those beers in her hand.
Oh yeah.
And she like hit him right in the junk with one of them.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Was that scene? A garage door isn't gonna lift a human. I don't think.
Stretching a little bit on that one.
I think, yeah, because
you could see it struggling. At least they showed there's a little bit of believability in it because they showed
my garage door. If it's like opening or closing and I sneeze, it like does the opposite. It's like, oh no, we're not gonna do this, and it's like, then you have to hit and hold the button to override it, and it's just like, come
on. Like I said, they showed the actual like box like making sounds and trying to break, and then finally failed whenever her head got caught in it. So, would have it? Probably not. Did they kind of try to be like, this is a really good one. Use this one. It can break your neck. That should have been in products and purchases. Don't use this garage door.
Or use it. If you want this to open, this will open. Don't worry about it.
Even if teenage girls are
sneezing and your garage door just closing back, get this one.
So, drinking, drugs, smoke, he gave it a 3.
Okay, I guess.
Underage drinking at a teen party, and characters drive dangerously under the influence when all the kids left the party when they heard that the principal was hung up at the school. Another character is referenced to as drunk enough to be framed for a killing.
Oh,
that was Cotton's character. He was too drunk to have done it, to do that. Cigarette smoking by an adult character. The police chief. I thought you quit, chief.
I don't remember that scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
fair.
That is what Chucky C thinks about this. This says, parents need to know that Scream is a 1996 teen slasher movie that parodies the horror genre. It's self-aware with constant references to other films. When a Stranger Calls, Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Silence of the Lambs. I do remember I mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he mentioned that.
To name a few. The rules and stereotypes are built, and the rules and stereotypes they're built upon. Was it funny when the one kid that was always naming the movies, at the end he's like, good thing I'm still a virgin.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. All right. And that was Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah. I don't remember what else he was on, but
he had his own like candid camera type show, the Jamie Kennedy show.
The Jamie Kennedy show, yeah.
He was in other things. I don't remember what he was in, but I do remember when he was
Ghost. Cool. He was in Ghost Whisperer for a while. He was in a movie called Yeah. He was also in a movie called Scream 2 and Tremors 5. 100.
Right. He was in all the Screams, I thought, wasn't he?
He probably was.
I thought he was in all of them. Couldn't kill that kid. Same with David Arquette. You didn't hear that. Spoiler alert.
I didn't hear what I actually didn't hear what you said, so.
Okay, good. Huge spoilers.
Yeah, I'll hear it. I'll hear it in post.
All right. Sweet. I know we're running long, but what we have to figure out what we're watching next week. We have to.
Do we just want to? Because there's a movie I've been wanting to watch, but I don't think you can find it anywhere. I think we might have to.
Anyway.
I think we will.
Okay. You just tell me what it is. We'll watch it.
1980.
That's a movie?
No, it's a year.
Oh, okay.
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Okay.
I've been wanting to watch this one. It's not. You can buy it on things.
Yeah,
but we'll find it.
Yeah, I'm sure I have a friend that will lend me their VHS of Flash Gordon.
Yeah. I mean, if you can find a vintage DVD of it.
Oh, I can. I'm sure of it.
That is what we're gonna watch. I've been wanting to watch this one for a while. So, it's a good Thanksgiving movie.
Is it a Thanksgiving movie?
No, that's a thing that doesn't exist.
Oh, okay, because You're just saying that because we're almost in November.
Because you have Halloween movies and you have Christmas movies that start right after Halloween. But actually,
Right.
Christmas movies start back in July. But, like, Christmas movies always kind of overlook Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving doesn't really count as a holiday these days, because Christmas just takes over September through December. So,
yep.
Sir,
let's call it, man.
It's been good talking to you.
Yeah, it's fun.
We need to figure out how we end this. Not like we've almost done 100 episodes.
Right. I would queue up our the instrumental version of our theme song.
Oh, is that how we do that?
And then we'll just say bye or something. I mean, we could do that.
I could get it to where you could hear it.
I mean, that's fine too. If we want to try it all together.
It's like this is our first time doing this.
Is it not?
It's close. I hope this is actually sounding louder than it ever has.
That's just on point, man.